Hello everyone, happy Sunday. I really wanted to make a video and share with you one of my current projects that I'm working on. I'll probably do a video showing the other big project I'm working on also, but right now I wanted to focus today specifically on the project I'm working on that I'm most excited about. So I have probably mentioned in shorts or maybe in other videos that I discovered that Lion Brand makes a yarn that the wool is, the sheep are literally in the United States. So every part of the process, this is manufactured. It is grown in the United States, processed, manufactured in the United States. I think that that is a wonderful, absolutely wonderful thing. I believe in supporting manufacturing in our country and jobs in our country and supporting our local economy. I have been this way for years. I don't think that we should be supporting people being underpaid and working in sweatshops and basically being slave labor in other countries just so that we can have something for next to nothing. I don't like overconsumption. I think that we do way too much of that. I am guilty in the yarn department of buying too much yarn. I will openly admit I have too much yarn and I have too much books. But other than that, my household is not about overconsumption. We try to keep our purchases minimal so that we keep more money in our own bank account and we can afford, when disasters happen, we can afford to buy what we need or pay for whatever services we happen to need in an emergency. I think it's a good idea for people to be financially responsible and don't spend all your money on a bunch of crap that you don't need. But that's a whole different soapbox, whole different video. I think I've actually made videos talking about that, about being fiscally responsible. But back to the yarn. Now that I'm done with that soapbox, back to the yarn. Local grown, love it. I was like, I am going to make a project with this yarn. I'm going to make a big project with this yarn. I may make multiple projects with this yarn because I'm so excited about this yarn. And I did also order some of the cotton too. But okay, now let's get on to the project. I wanted to make a granny square blanket for my bed. At first, it was going to be a bunch of small granny squares. And I was going to basically put them together and make a massive blanket. But then when I started, I just wanted to keep going. It's like, okay, it's fine. I'll just make a massive granny square blanket. So I like those too. I love them. So I picked 5 different colors of this local grown yarn. And this is what I am working on. It is getting almost, it's a, I would say, baby blanket size. It is almost to throw blanket size. Although I have a long way to go. Now, I am not sure. I haven't decided yet. I'm just going to keep making it because it has to fit on a queen size bed. And I do tend to buy king size blankets because of the way my husband rolls in the blankets and hogs the blankets. So I do tend to put king size blankets on a queen size bed to help with that problem a little bit. So this may end up being a king size blanket. It's going to take a lot of yarn to do this. But I will either make a massive king size square, or when it gets big enough, you may see me do at the top a border of smaller granny squares, or at the top and the bottom, depending on, I'm going to play this by ear. I'm going to wait until it's big enough and then I'll make my final decision, because I think with projects, you can, like this, you can flex a little, you can change direction if you want to. So I'm going to leave it open-ended on if I want to do the smaller granny squares, or if I just want to just keep going and then do a nice border on my granny square blanket. So these are the colors that I picked. I picked cream. Oops. So this is like a cream. This is called maple. And then we've got like a sage green and the brown, which is called barn actually. And then the dark green is called moss. I don't think that it looks like moss. I think it's more like an army green or I don't know. It's just a darker green. But those are the 5 colors that I picked for this blanket. Now, I don't like the granny, when you make granny square blankets that are a huge granny square, they'll be like really holey, and you'll have like the spaces between will be rather large, because with granny squares you're usually doing 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 1, like all the way around and around and around. So a granny square blanket is the easiest. It's the easiest in the world. They work up fast and they're like really easy to do. I absolutely love them. But what I did was I skipped the chain 1s. So I am just double crochet, like 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, 3. And that is to tighten up the granny square blankets so that those spaces in between are smaller, because I prefer on a blanket for it to have less holes. It's a thing like in my family, a lot of the, like my uncle, when I went to make him a blanket, he said, don't make me one of them holy blankets. I don't want all them holes. Okay, fair. I get that. But this is actually really warm, even with the little bit of holes that it's got. And it's mostly to be pretty on my bed. Basically, this is going to be what goes on top of the bed. So there will be like a sheet and another blanket and then this on top. So I chose these colors with real wool that is not superwash wool. You don't have a massive amount of options color-wise. And I thought that for this local grown wool, I thought that they did really good in having a nice variety of colors. My thinking was I wanted a blanket that was kind of like earth tones. And I believe that these colors here accomplish that. So that was my goal with this blanket. And I took a photo with my husband modeling it, but I think I was on this row here. So I've added some rows since he modeled it Friday night. I took a photo Friday night because I wanted to show the progress I had made in a week. Now, I work full time, so I don't have endless hours to crochet, but I try to spend a little bit of time every night doing a little bit of crochet, because it is very relaxing and I love creating things with my hands. I think that is one of the rewarding and fulfilling things, is when you have your own home and you're hand making the things that you need in your home and that you decorate your home with. I love doing that stuff. So I love this blanket. This blanket is, I'm gonna seriously love it once I have it done and it's on the bed and it looks beautiful. And of course I'll take photos and probably like a video clip or something once it's on the bed and looking all pretty. But this is my pet project right now. I do have other works in progress. So I do have other whips that I am working on. Of course, like everyone who knits or crochets, we always tend to have multiple projects on the hook. And I am no different in that regard. I do try to limit it to 3, because I don't want to go overboard and have so many going that I never finish any. I would like to finish projects. So I've got a couple other projects going. One, hopefully I'll have one of them finished tomorrow, maybe. But that means I have to put this down and not work on this tonight. I have to work on a different project tonight and maybe tomorrow, just to ensure that I get the other project done, because one of the other projects is a birthday gift for a coworker. So I need to get it completed. So that is what I am up to. And I've got to do housework, and I've got to put some manure, fertilizer stuff. It's dirt with manure in it, basically, on my strawberry bed. I've got plants to start inside. I've got so much planned today. And I have more stuff planned than I have motivation. The struggle is real. But I will be sharing some of what I am working on as I do all of the things that I am doing. So thank you for watching. If you can like and subscribe, that helps boost the algorithms. So I would greatly appreciate that. And I will see you guys later.